Positive Talk, a guest host at Radio Panache, the epitome of excellence. And that's what we're going to dish to you. Excellence is what we're going to give you. And some of you may be wondering, where has this voice been? I've been making money. I've been busy cooking other things, and radio bug, when it hits you, it finds you wherever you are. And it found me and humbled me to the core, reminded me of why we started this movement, why we started being voices of consciousness, voices that just becomes voices of the voiceless. And today we have a special guest. We have a very special conversation. I toyed against the idea. I was thinking to myself, where do we even begin? I mean, I was listening, watching when the story broke. And, you know, the ethical broadcaster in me felt like there's no balance in the story. People are talking, we're seeing on social media, we're seeing breaking news, we see mainstream media talking about this particular case, but we haven't heard the story of the person that's been accused. And what always pains me is how we would take a story and just tear it apart, already judging, and what happens to that innocent until proven guilty? I think we've lost that completely. All of us now have the judge in our fingertips. We'll be able to say things, and oftentimes we hurt people, and hurt people hurt people. It is exactly 11 o'clock. I wanted to just introduce myself and remind you that we are having this incredible conversation today. Today our special guest, you might have seen some of our social media posts that we are going to be speaking to Judge Portia Phahlane. And some of you don't know her, Dipuo, by the way. She's joining us in studio. She was charged with allegedly accepting a bribe from a member of a said church. And the purpose of this conversation today is to give Judge Phahlane an opportunity to respond to these charges, to explain her perspective and address some of the questions that we've seen that you've raised in a lot of public platforms. And we'll avoid prejudging and urge you to do the same. Listen with heart, so that we begin to put things into perspective. Remember the term allegedly. And this reflects the charges until the case is heard and there's evidence presented, and I'm not going to use the legal terminology. I'm going to let all of that be done by Judge Portia Phahlane. Joining us, she's the judge of the North Gauteng High Court. Many of you know it as Pretoria High Court. Is it still morning? Joe, it's really so early that I don't even remember whether it's morning or evening. And with all these lights, it feels like night already. Welcome.
Thank you, Criselda, for inviting me.
Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Sure.
Because people hardly ever, I mean, you're one of those people that you never on headlines for wrongdoing. We've never seen you intoxicated. We've seen stories about people in the bench, and we've never read anything about you until this particular case that we're going to talk about.
I keep my life private.
Aha.
It's safer that way.
It's safer that way. And unfortunately, the private it is, the more people speculate about who you are. And the speculation, unfortunately, leads to judgment. And the reason we're having this conversation, and thank you for allowing us to tap into your heart and have this conversation. The reason we're having this is simply because, it is upon us as journalists, as broadcasters, to balance output, to balance the story, so that when people make up their minds, it's based on facts. And allow me to just tap into what goes into the process of being a high court judge as a black female.
It's a difficult one. You struggle before you even get there. You've seen there are interviews going on. It's live when you are being interviewed. But for you to be in that position, it takes not only courage, but a lot of hard work.
And going to school. Please don't forget that part.
Yes, because you have to go to do law school. And with me, before I became a judge, I was an advocate for years. And for around 19 years, I was an advocate, practicing here in Pretoria and in some of the provinces, Northwest and Gauteng and, Limpopo, that is in Polokwane. Mm-hmm. And then finally, I got an opportunity around 2017 to come and act as a judge. And then I was appointed in 2021, in April.
So you get appointed in 2021.
Yes.
And 2022, a scandal happens.
Yes.
I mean, why would you go through so much in a year, allow yourself to be in a scandal?
That's the same question that I'm asking myself, that would I be that stupid when I struggled so much? I mean, the interviewers out there, the journey that I've went through, for me to be here today, as a judge, to be appointed as a judge, it was a struggle. So the question is, why would I destroy my reputation when I'm only a baby? Because it was only in 2021 when I was appointed. And, the scandal or the accusations, they only came in around 2022. But I'm informed that they started around 2021, which for me doesn't even make sense.
Wow. Because you were not even there.
I don't know what happened, but I know that there are rumors flying in the social media that, the allegations started in November 2021.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe to give context to those who are joining us right now and not knowing exactly what it is that we're talking about, we're talking about allegations that were made against Judge Phahlane, allegedly having received a bribe from IPC Church. Is it IPCH Church? And was then charged and arrested, and she's now out on bail. And we're talking this morning to just get a perspective and understand, just connect the dots, because from where we sit, there's just many loose ends. So how do you respond to allegations that you accepted a bribe from a member of a church? This case, as you indicate, that it started in 2021, and at some point it was struck off the roll. Were you involved?
Let me put it this way. It didn't start in 2021. I'll give you the timeline just to make it easy for people to understand who are listening. Mm-hmm. In 2022, on the 18th of March 2022, I did not know about it, but it happened that there was a case for the leadership battle.
Okay.
It was known as the leadership battle of the IPHC because there are 3 factions.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about it because it's out there. It's no longer in court. So I'm free to talk about it. It's not like a case that is before court. So some of the parties, obviously, who were fighting for the battle of being, the leaders of the church, were the 2 Modisa brothers, Leonard and Tsepiso, and Mr. Michael Sandlana. So I don't know.
And Mr. Michael Sandlana is the one you were accused.
I'm accused, yes, that he's the one who bribed me. Who
bribed you?
Now, I received a letter from, the office of the Deputy Judge President. He was the DJP by then. Now he's acting as the Judge President, but he's the DJP. For convenience sake, I'll call him the DJP Ledwaba. And that I have to do a case management on a matter regarding the leadership battle. Mm-hmm. Now, what happened is when the parties need to have a judge to be allocated to them, they would normally write a letter and say, please allocate a judge for us to case manage the case that you are doing, and then we'll take it from there. So they approached the DJP on the 18th of March 2022. And then I was appointed to be a case manager on the 8th of May 2022. Okay. And then on the 12th of May 2022, my secretary wrote to all the parties that the DJP has allocated the case to me. Mm-hmm. Now, we met with these people. The first case management meeting was on the 9th of June 2022. Mm-hmm. So I met with these people, and then it was via Teams. after having an agreement with them as to exactly when are we going to case manage the case. So on 9 June, that was our first meeting, and then we proceeded with other meetings. I think we held like 4 meetings. And then immediately thereafter, we had to agree as parties that we are going to start with a trial on the 13th of February, 2023.
Okay. Now,
on the first day of trial, that is on the 13th of February, 2023, I got to my chambers, and it is, procedure that when you are a judge and then you've got counsels and attorneys, all the parties, they have to come to your chambers and introduce themselves.
Correct.
So they came to my chambers as a group representing different parties to introduce themselves. And at that moment, that is when I was informed that there are rumors on social media that I have been sanitized. They use the word sanitized. I asked them, what
Did you understand what that means?
No, I asked them immediately, what do you mean by sanitized? Mm-hmm. And they said, you took a bribe. And I said, that's ridiculous. Who said I took a bribe? And where did they see me? And instead of getting a proper response from the person who was talking to me, is one of the senior counsels. He literally threatened me. He said, you know what? You must get out of this case. If you don't do that, I'm going to embarrass you in court because there are cameras, the media is out there. And I said, bring it on, it's okay. Don't talk to me about the things that I don't know. And firstly, I don't even know what is happening because I don't do social media. I'm not affiliated to any platform. So, but it's okay. Let's go to court. And then I went to court. When I got to court, they made their application from the bar. From the bar, it means you are standing there. There's no proper application before me. And then they said their application was simply based on the fact that because I was a case manager, which is also, catered for in Rule 37A, capital letter A, that if you are a case manager, you cannot be the judge of the trial. But now the problem that they had is that each and every meeting that I had with them, I also told them that my instructions from the DJP is that do the case management, proceed with the trial, and inform the parties. So each and every meeting that I held with them, I also informed them that I'm still going to do their trial. There was no objection. Then on that very day, or the 13th of February, that's when after they made those allegations, they threatened me. I take them as a threat because you could hear from the tone of their voices that it was a serious threat. And I said, let's go to court. When I got to court, they stand up and they make their application, and then I dismissed it immediately. And then thereafter, then I went to the DJP. I said, DJP, there are allegations. What do I do? No, proceed with the matter. Yeah. It wasn't a problem. So I
proceed with the matter because there's not enough evidence to substantiate
exactly
the claims.
What the claims. So one of the things that I have learned is that, when we take office, you make an oath. I said I'm not going to do my case. Every case that comes to me, I will do it without fear, favor, or prejudice. I took an oath. I know the rules of ethics. Fortunately for me, or for our division, there's one of the judges who was the chairperson of the LPC, that is the Legal Profession Council. Okay. So I communicated with him because I wanted to have advice from him. How do I deal with this one? And the reason why I went to him is that if it comes to the rules of ethics, if it comes to doing the things the proper way, he's the right person. Not that I did not trust any other judges, but I preferred him.
So you did not work alone in this case?
I did not work alone. Absolutely not. I did not work alone. So every time I would go to him and another senior judge to go and consult and say, and I did that only because there were accusations from the beginning. And I said, no, because there's allegations and accusations. I'm not going to do this one alone. I just need some advice on how to deal with it. So I got advice here and there. So I dismissed that application that because I was the case manager, then I should move. And then after that, they made an application for leave to appeal.
Okay.
So the parties make an application for leave to appeal. And then before I could even deliver the judgment, they already had another application on Caseline. We work with a system called Caseline. It's like when all the parties want to have a case, they would put it on the system. It's like a computer, and then you go into that system and then you read the cases from there instead of having bundles, documents and documents. So we go into the system. So everything was there. So there was already this application that was already placed on case line. It was phrased as conditional application for recusal. Because what they were saying is, if you don't give us the leave to appeal, if you don't rule in our favor, then we're going to make an application for you to recuse yourself. And I said, it's like somebody holding a gun to my head.
Yeah.
Do it my way or the other way around. I'm going to expose you. I said, but it's okay. I dismissed that application. And firstly, because the previous application that was made, it was not made in terms of the rules. You cannot just make an application from the bar. And there was no basis. So I dismissed that one.
And I suppose that's why your supervisor also said proceed.
Yes. And then I went again and I'm like, I'm having a predicament. And they said, no, go to your case. Because I'm guided by, principles. So a day later, then I received death threats. And the death threat was very specific. The person who called me, I don't know who it was, but it was a male person. I'm looking for Judge Phahlane. They called me on my cell phone. Are you Judge Phahlane? Yes, I'm Judge Phahlane. And it was about the time just before I could just go to court. And then I'm like, how do I help you? And this person says, you are doing the Modise trial. He said it, Modise trial.
That's what they called it.
And I said, yes. What do you want from me? He says, I know that you have to write a judgment. I've never heard of that voice before. I didn't even recognize the voice till today. He specifically said to me, if you rule in favor of Mr. Sandlana, we are going to kill you and we know where you live. I panicked.
And so you should.
I went to court. I told them I needed to have 2 more days with you. But now most importantly is because I don't have my laptops, I don't have anything. You can see that my hands are free. I have received a death threat.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to work. I will go to the JP and DJP because now I'm talking to you without even talking to my seniors. And then we postponed and I said, we'll meet tomorrow. And they asked me, are we going to proceed tomorrow? Are we going to do the teams? I said, we are not going to do this case by teams. There are people who are interested in this matter. We'll do open court. We'll sit in court every day. Come what may, no matter what happens, I will be in this court. Even if somebody can put a gun to my head, I'm not going to be threatened. And I said, I specifically said, not in my name. If people want to intimidate me or use the judiciary, to intimidate the judiciary using me, that is the wrong way to go. And people should go and do their homework. I'm not going to allow people to just play around and accuse me, and because it's not even directed at me, it is also directed at the institution that I save, that I stand for, that is the judiciary. So I postponed the matter. It was rolled over to the next day. I went straight to the office of the DJP. I reported to him that I've been threatened. I received the death threat. This person specifically told me this instruction, and he even said that he knows where I live. What do I do? He says, no, go to the court manager. Court manager must arrange security for you. And they must arrange also police to come and take your statement. And I said, my worry is that this person who called me, they're using a private number. So I want this person, I want the police to come and, because I know that they've got facilities to trace, even if it's a private number. And I couldn't even get that help. I received, I got security after like 4 days after when I told them that why are you treating me differently? Yeah. The DJP said, arrange security for me.
And in the meantime, how do you get to work?
I cannot get to work.
I said, been told that you're going to be killed.
Arranged because I'm not doing it on my own. I'm told that you have to do it. And there was nothing. So I arranged my own because I've got family who can support me. I've got family who, one of them is like, he's got a security company. So it wasn't a problem for me. So I left the office of the DJP. There's a Mr. Nobela. He is I don't know whether to call him a supervisor of the security in the building. He was supposed to arrange for that. Mr. Nobela tells my secretary to say, go and tell your judge that she must go and follow a queue at the police station.
Because you needed to open a case.
To open a case, yes. So I left it at that. So I made arrangements myself. And a day before I could even go to court because we were on recess for 2 days because I had to just write another judgment. Then there's another man called Mr. Manyatela from the office of the OCJ. It is the security. He calls me in the evening around 8 o'clock. He demands to have my house number and I refuse. And he insisted, and I said, you know what, I've already told you 3 times, I cannot give you my house number. I stay in the security estate. If you want to meet me, if you're going to send people, tell them to wait for me at the gate. And I'll meet them at the gate. Finally, I got those people, but here and there they were ducking and diving.
Yeah. But all along, you have not even judged on the case yet.
I have not even judged the case.
In your mind, what's going through your mind? What have you gotten yourself into?
I was blank at that moment because I was like, oh, what is happening? Like you said, what is happening? People are talking about accusations, but now they haven't even said anything. They only said that I took a bribe. And I'm like, give me proof that I took a bribe. Now comes the day when they were supposed to do the application itself for recusal, because I refused that one. And I could see that, they are hopping on, I'm going to use this term. They were, shopping for a judge. And my colleague also could see that they are shopping for a judge because, and I will tell you this, on the first day of the 13th, before I could even receive these threats from being intimidated by the councils, the court manager comes to me and says, there's an acting judge Du Plessis. It's a female. She came to me looking for this case in particular. And I said to her, how does she know that this case is coming before court? Because nobody knows. The only person who knows it is myself, it is the parties. Not even the other judges know. Because when you do a case management and the case goes before court for trial, it is the arrangements that you make. It is not even on the court roll. So how did she find out about this case? So that was the first, problem. But it doesn't end there. This very same judge, when I was busy, when these people were saying, because we're the case manager, move, she's somewhere in the building removing the matter from the roll and says that the matter has been removed by notice. You cannot be having 2 courts dealing with one case.
That doesn't make sense even for a layperson like me.
My secretary calls that person, the secretary of this acting judge. Yes. And he says that, why did your judge make a court order to say that this matter is removed by notice? I'm on the case line.
As we speak.
Yes, as we speak, and I'm with the judge. There's no notice. There's no notice of removal because that's what they did. The matter is removed by notice. While at the same time, I'm on the other court. I don't know whether it was next door, but on the very same day, I'm busy with the people before me making the application. So now the question is, who removed that matter and why was it removed? So come the day when I was doing the application, they made the application, and that's when I realized that these rumors are from 2021. The application was based on the affidavit that was made by the so-called, this advocate called Papi Maluleke. He is the one who came up with the allegations and put them out there to say that in November 2021, Mr. Sandlana had already given me the money.
And where are you in November 2021 in relation to this case?
For people who don't understand, in simple terms, the case did not exist. Wow. The parties themselves had not even gone to the DJP to ask the DJP to allocate a judge for them. So how would Mr. Sandlana bribe me in 2021 in November?
On that note, let's remind people who've tuned in and wondering, where is the music at? It's a Sunday, and we appreciate each and every one of you. My name is Criselda Kananda, and I host Positive Talk, and I'm a guest host today at Radio Panache. And as we pride ourselves that we give you the epitome of excellence. And with me in studio is Judge Portia Phahlane. As we talk about this case, I'm sure many of you have seen this. If you haven't, it's Googleable, about at the time, picture this, Kwanazi comes out, talks about the judiciary being captured, and boom, here comes a story, and everybody jumped on the bandwagon. These are the corrupt judges, and the unfortunate reality is that behind these allegations are humans who are being prosecuted, persecuted without trial. I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm asking myself, so gutsy. Where does the guts to just keep on keeping on when people, like you say, that it's not even that you needed to see a physical gun, but they were holding a gun against your head.
Absolutely,
and wanting you to make certain judgments.
Yes.
So what happens to the case? Where is the case now?
Very interesting. They made an application for recusal. I dismissed it. I wrote a full judgment. And here's the thing. Like I said, I wasn't doing this case alone. I made sure that I go and consulted my nobody knows that I was consulting other judges. I wanted to make sure that everything is above board. If you talk about the rules of ethics, I went to the right person, and they guided me on how to write the judgment. And I delivered my judgment, and then I dismissed the application. And immediately thereafter, we had to place the matter on the roll to go to trial on 24 July 2023.
So the trial was supposed to be 24 July.
2023, yes.
Okay.
On the morning of the 24th of July 2023, the parties say in court, we are not going to proceed with this matter. What is the problem?
They what?
Parties, they are not proceeding with the trial. And they said because Mr. Leonard Modise is the one who is the plaintiff, he decided to just withdraw from the matter. Mr. Tshepiso Modise, who is the second plaintiff or the applicant in another matter, because it was two cases combined in one, they were consolidated. So he's also withdrawing. So they sent the notice of withdrawal that we do not want to proceed with these cases. And as parties, I was not involved.
Did they state the reasons?
No, they refused to state the reasons. I did not have a problem. So they brought the agreement between the parties. They made like a draft order. So it's like the agreement between them. I'm withdrawing this matter. I will pay the cost of the court. And then they did that, both of them. Both Mr. Modise and Tshepiso Modise and Leonard Modise, they withdrew. They sent a notice of withdrawal. Other parties agreed. The other parties did not agree, but it was not a problem because I had to make the decision.
Yeah.
So I said, if the parties want to run, it's okay. Let them run. I'm not going to force you to give me the reasons. You say that it is your prerogative to keep quiet.
It means
not
there's
a problem.
No case.
So they decide to write a draft order, and I had to pronounce on it.
Okay.
And then after pronouncing on that thing, I declared it a court order. And then we talked about the rules of ethics because I was like, look where we are today. We are going.
It's wasting resources.
Yes. But not only that, people are saying that we are withdrawing from the matter. There's documents to show that they are withdrawing from the matter. They don't want to proceed. But it's okay. And it was done. Guess what? The very same day after we adjourned the matter, I go to my chambers. Then comes the attorney for Mr. Leonard Modise. He comes to me and says, Judge, I want to see you. I'm in my chambers. I said, you know the rules. Don't come to my chamber alone. Go and get one of your colleagues. Then he goes and then gets a colleague. Unfortunately, he brought Mr. Sandlana's attorney. When he comes there, he says, I have a confession to make. There's something that is bothering me. I quote him. He says, I've been waiting for the day when this case ends so that I can just cough it out. I said, what are you talking about? He says, the reason why we are withdrawing, it is because my client does not have evidence of this leadership battle. I said, what are you talking about? He says, no, my client does not have evidence. And the reason why we are withdrawing, it is because he doesn't want him to go into the witness box. And I said to him, you made the allegations against me that I took a bribe. And now today, and it doesn't even end there. He says that we know that you did not do anything. That is what picked up my interest when he talked to me. He said, no, we don't, you know that we do not do anything. And I said, but Mr. Salala, why are you coming today to tell me that after everything that has happened, you made the application, you signed the notice of motion, you signed everything, you perjured yourself when you were signing those documents and making that application. And now today you are making a confession and telling me that, your client doesn't have evidence. Your client wants to withdraw because he doesn't want to go to the witness box.
Isn't that unethical?
It is unethical. So I said, but why? He said that, why? Who told you to do it? His colleague says to him, are you saying that they were using you? And he says, no, I can't say that they were using me, but we all agreed. I said, who is we? He said it was a whole lot of people, but even counsels, because they were giving me documents. Now he's hiding behind his senior advocates. He says they were giving me documents. I said, but how do you operate your practice? Is it not happening the other way around? Because you're supposed to draft the documents, give them instructions, but now you are telling me that your councils were drafting and giving you documents to sign, and you are using the word force. You are saying that they forced you to be signing those things.
So but what happens to you then with the allegations that...
Yes. He doesn't say anything. All that he said that was, we all agreed with my clients and the advocates that we are going to do those allegations to bring that application. But what is bothering me right now, that is why I'm saying something is bothering me inside. I want to tell you that I know that Mr. Modise does not have. And I said, but you're talking about your own client. He says that is why I'm saying that it's eating me up. It's bothering me. Sure. I was waiting for this day to come, when the day the case is going to be finished, to come and tell you that, this is what happened.
So when something like that is then put on the table, what is recourse for you who has been accused?
I've been destroyed. What I did is immediately I went to the DJP.
Maybe we need to also explain some of these acronyms because some of us listening, you don't know what an OCJ is, a DJP.
The DJP is the Deputy Judge President.
Okay.
Because you've got the Judge President and you've got
the deputy.
Yes, the deputy.
Okay.
So that is the person that I was communicating with all the time. So I went, because the JP is always busy. He's running 2 courts.
Correct.
So, and the nearest person that I could go to is the second in command. So I went to the DJP. I said, DJP, Mr. Salala came into my office. I will call him by first name, Jeffrey Koboro Salala. He came to my office and he confessed in front of witnesses, in front of my security personnel, in front of 2 secretaries and another person who works in the building to come there. And he says in front of them that he knows that I didn't do anything, but most importantly, they don't have they don't have evidence regarding the leadership battle.
So fast forward, what are the charges leveled against you?
The charges, I can only talk about one, corruption, and I know there's money laundering. I don't know how it features in there. Those are the things that we'll talk about it when we get to court. I don't want to,
we also don't want to weaken the court because it is sub judice. So what can did you sue them? Because when somebody says I've done something,
yes, what I did
threaten me.
When Mr. Salala came and apologized to me, I said, Mr. Salala, after everything that you have done, be aware, I don't want you to hear from anybody else. I'm going to sue you. And he was worried about his practice and said to me, if you sue me, then I'm not going to be able to practice. I said, you should have thought about it before.
There's consequences and decisions,
and then
right?
Yes. And now this is happening after I sued them. And this is what I'm getting now. Sure.
So now you're out on bail.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Are you able to practice at all?
No, I'm not. But interestingly enough, for the thing that, like I said, that the allegations were there in November 2021, I was appointed in May 2022. But now, for all these years, nothing has happened. Last year was 2025. Nothing has happened because they've been talking about we're going to the police here and there, they're involved. And the police, they didn't have anything, because if they did, they could have arrested me by then, but they had nothing. And I'll tell you why I'm arrested now. It's out there in the media. Somebody exposed himself. He's one of the accused. He's accused number 1, Mr. Putti. Mr. Putti is well known. He put it out there, and I'm talking about it because he's the one who went to the media.
Yeah.
And the social media as well. He went there. He has a fallout.
Is he the one who was working with Mr. Sandlan?
Yes. He was apparently he was a member of the church, and he's a son-in-law, because other people are talking about him being the son-in-law. I don't know anything. I'm not affiliated to the church.
That was going to be my next question. What is your relationship with this church?
I'm not affiliated to the church. I'm an Anglican.
Okay.
I was baptized in Anglican. I'm a full member of Anglican Church. So he has a problem with Mr. Sandlana.
Okay.
And because there's money involved and there's a case against him, he also put that case on the media. That there's a case which is before the court between himself and Mr. Sandlana. And it's all about money. It's all about money. The allegations are that he stole 100 million from the church. There's cars involved. There's, cyber crimes going on. But he doesn't want to do that. Instead of fighting with his father-in-law, if he is his father-in-law, Mr. Sandlana, why put me in there? But now it's convenient for them to to bring me in, because you cannot go after Mr. Sandlana without bringing me in, because they don't have anything against Mr. Sandlana. So but that is the problem.
So according to these allegations, Judge Phahlane, is that you received, they're saying that there's reasonable evidence. You received payments, you received gifts, you received favors. And now when you say that the case didn't happen, who stood to benefit?
An excellent question. A very good question. Who benefited? Because for these allegations to come up, they said that Mr. Sandlana had to benefit. Now the question is, let's start from the beginning. How did Mr. Sandlana benefit? Because these people ran. I use the word ran sparingly so, in inverted commas. They decided to withdraw. And their attorney says, we don't have evidence. And there was never a trial where Mr. Sandlana could have benefited, where I could have ruled in his favor or in the favor of his faction. There was never a case. So how did he benefit? How did he benefit?
And you haven't seen any of the evidence that...
No, I haven't even seen anything as yet. But now we're talking about gifts and whatever. If there's one thing that I need, is for whoever is talking about that, I want videos. I said it before. I want videos. I want photos. I want everything. If there was an exchange of gifts, I want to see that video. I want to see that photo, those photos. They must just bring them to me. I don't want to listen to somebody saying that I know what happened.
Yeah, part of the allegations is that the money was brought in bags. I'm not sure whether it's that black bag that is popular.
The Woolies bag. I don't know. But I need that. But I can tell you one thing. Because there's also, I'm only going to talk about I don't want to touch the case itself because it is before court.
Yeah.
But there's, what is before the media, even on Facebook and everywhere else. There's this other woman, and that is where this problem is coming in. There's this other woman whom it is said that, she was in a relationship with me. I will put it that way. But
that's the one who was delivering the favors and the bags.
Yes. Do you know that woman is a member of the IPHC? That woman, when I don't want to specify about an individual, a specific individual. That woman was coming to my chambers, and I said to her, "This case, I'm dealing with this case. I don't want you in my chambers. You are the interpreter. I'm doing civil trial right now. You are an interpreter in criminal court. Don't come to my chambers because you are a member of the church." I don't want people having, reading the wrong thing or having wrong interpretation about what is happening. So please go. And the media is here in court. She was very angry. But instead, she goes and says to me in front of everybody, "I see that you've got bodyguards. Do you know that you are so cheap that your head is even worth 1,000 rand?" And she talks about Nkabi, and I'm, what are you talking about? She says, "No, there are people, then Nkabi will come and kill you." And I said, "Who's Nkabi?" He says, "Which country are you coming from?"
This is when I wish we had body cams, all of us, that as you walk around, when people say these things, you place it on record.
Yeah. He says, "No, people are going to kill you." And then I said to the security, "Please make sure that this woman does not come into this floor." And she was very angry. And she goes and sneaks every time. And then I would get a report from the security to say, "This woman was here." I'm not going to give you names, because if I give you a specific name of that security, it will be like, I gave him a tip to say something positive about me. You ask anybody in that building. Yeah. Everybody knows that I chased that woman away, and she was really angry. She was really angry. Because she's the member. I said, "I'm doing the case. I don't want you anywhere near me."
I don't know whether I should ask for a water break, because this is spine chilling. Yeah. And I can only imagine, how this has impacted in your family, your life as you knew it.
For the past 3 years, I've been living my house is like a prison, because I cannot go anywhere. I've been, apart from those death threats, because I've received many. The police haven't done anything. The OCJ, they haven't done anything. They said they wanted to have the security at the OCJ, Office of the Chief Justice. We have a security. They were supposed to, get the case number. I gave them the case number. Nothing
so there is a case number. Yes, you eventually went and queued because you were told to just go and queue.
I was told
Humble fall, like everyone else.
And the case number is there. They didn't do anything. And the one day the court manager brings to me somebody from the Office of the Hawks. He says that he was here dealing with the case of the deputy judge president because he's got a similar problem. People are accusing him. People are threatening him. They want to kill him. And then I'm here. I said, you know what? Did you get the instructions from your office? He says, no. I said, why do you take instructions from the court manager? Anyway, at an event, go and tell the people who have sent you to me that I'm not interested. I can only talk to you if your seniors have sent you to me to come and, investigate this case. He goes and then he doesn't come back. After 2 days, he sent an email to my secretary to say, go tell your judge that my office says that she's not worthy to be assisted by the Hawks. She must go and follow a queue at the police station. I said, no, it's okay, because I can see that everybody's running away. Now, there's a Mr. Naidu. He's the head of the security at the OCJ. Mr. Naidu comes to me, says that the JP has sent me so that I can come to you because I understand that you've got security issues. I start from the beginning. I tell him, the police were here, they didn't do anything. They came up again, they didn't do anything. The Hawks was here, they said that I should go and follow the queue. And then now you hear what is happening. But at the same time, I know that your office brought people who worked with me for 3 weeks. They were escorting me. He says, I'm not aware that my office, there were people coming from my office who were escorting you. And I said, how? He says, no, I'm the head. I'm the head of security. I said, but how come you don't know? I said, there's a certain Mr. Manyatela from your office. He's the one that I was communicating with. He's the one who called me in the evening to tell me that there are people who are coming to escort me. He says, no, if there were people who were supposed to come and escort you, I would have known because I'm the only one who's got the authority. So there's divisions
even in the offices.
Exactly. He says, I'm the one who was supposed to authorize those people to come and escort you. He said, what happened to those people? I said, no, I just left them because they were not interested in working. Because at times they would just leave me so that I can just go on my own. So I will get my own thing. And then he ended up saying that I will call, members of intelligence. There were 3 people of intelligence, a captain and two of his juniors, because it was a she. It was 2 females and one gentleman. They came to me, they talked to me. Till today, I haven't even heard a thing from them. Nobody wanted to help me.
I would like us to go to that fateful day when, boom, here are people, whether you were in your office, were you at home, and if you can just take us into confidence, whatever it is that you can disclose, because I'm sitting wondering, seeing your son with you, he's not part of this case. You haven't mentioned his name being part of this case at any point. How did we get there?
There is something that, it's a mystery. It will be wrapped up in court anyway. It will be, exposed in court what happened. Let's leave it to the courts because we still have to go in that direction. But they came to my home and they said that they have a warrant of arrest, which is not a problem. But the media was already arranged. So they come to my home and then I get arrested in the evening. It was around 9 in the evening. I go with them to the police station.
So the police work with media these days?
Yes,
because we recently saw ballot boxes being dug out and the media was already there.
So I was taken to the police station and then in the morning we go to court, which is not a problem. But when I got to the police station, something that is so sad is that when I got to the police station, there's this other woman, the only white woman who came as she was forming part of the group of the people from Hawks who came to arrest me. She's a captain and she takes my phones and she says, no, I'm going to take your phones. And I'm saying, what? I said, why? You don't have a warrant. You don't have anything. She says to me in the presence of my attorney, because my attorney was at the police station by then. He says, I'm going to take these phones. And my attorney was asking, on what basis? Whether, you have to have a reasonable whatever. And he didn't have anything. Because when I left my home, she took my phones from my home. I said, where's the document? She says, no, I have everything. I'll give it to you at the police station. I left her. I cooperated with them. They took my phones. When I got to the police station, give me the document that you said that you're going to give me. There's no warrant. There's no application. There's no affidavit. There's nothing. There's no court order. There's nothing. So I said to them, are you taking my phones unlawfully? So because what they did is unlawful. They took my phones unlawfully from me. I said, I used the word rights. I said, are you now violating my rights by taking these phones by force? She said, what can you do? There's nothing that you can do about it. And she took my phones. She put them in the exhibit bag and I told my attorney, take a picture because I know that if they're behaving like this, something is not right. Take a picture of the exhibit bag.
Yeah. So having experienced all these things, as a person who is a judge and you've always been on the other side of the law, what are some of the takeaways that you sat back and thought, this is what ordinary citizens go through?
Absolutely. If I could not get help, when there are procedures in terms of us being judges that when you have a problem, somebody has to come and help you. And if you meet people like Mr. Nobela, who says that, go, who the hell do you think you are? Go and, I'm sorry, but those are the words that were used. Go and follow the queue. What about an ordinary person? Because I opened the case with the police. They messed up my case. Nothing has been done. Nobody has ever come to me and told me that these are the investigations. We did this. We did not find this, or we did not. Nothing has been done. My case was closed. My attorneys had to open that case again. Had to lodge a complaint that, we opened the cases. Nothing is happening. That, crime intelligence comes to me. They don't do anything. Till today, nothing has happened. So the system has failed me. What about the innocent people, ordinary people who are there, and they believe that, when you have a system, it's going to help us. And I'm not, I'm a judge, and I cannot get that help. What about the ordinary person? It's a shame.
So there was a report, indeed a shame, I have to acknowledge that. There was a report that was released last year saying that more than 132 complaints were filed against judges in the past year. Are you familiar with that report? And I mean, when you hear things like those, what is your reaction?
I haven't seen the report. I don't know what the report is all about. I know that there's been complaints previously about judges delaying to deliver judgments, handing down of judgments, and that there's a backlog. That one.
What seems to be the challenge within the system?
Within the system, honestly, Gauteng is well known. The Gauteng division itself, Pretoria and Joburg, they are the busiest courts in the whole country. So if we get that, I mean, the delays are not just delays because of there's no reason. It's not unreasonable delays, so to speak. You like I said, that we are overworked in Pretoria. Those judges are overworked. I will exclude myself, but those judges are overworked because it's the busiest court in the country. And that is why, I'm using the word, it's not unreasonable delays, because here and there you find somebody delaying with about a month or something. I'll give you an example. When a judge has got like 5 cases with opposed motions that they have to do, and you find that in all those motions, in all those cases, you have to write judgments in each and every one of them. And then you only have 3 months to write a judgment. And then at the same time, you still have other cases that you have to deal with. When are you going to write the judgment? That is why I'm saying the delays is not unreasonable, because you might find one here and then, a delay of 1 month or 2 months. But with regards to the backlog, I know I've experienced that. Yeah. I'm in criminal court full time, to an extent that, because we want to just eliminate this thing. We want to just help people. I do 2 cases in one day. One of my colleagues, Judge Mosopa, is doing 2 cases at the same time. We do 1 case in the morning shift, 1 case in the afternoon. We don't even go to lunch, so that we can just, elevate this thing of the problems that they have. But with other things about the report, I don't want to lie. I haven't seen it. I don't know what they're talking about.
When you talk about a criminal court, I mean, a case that comes to mind is the Matlala case. And when you hear how people are just, their palms are rolled, as they said that you have been sanitized, allegedly. What are some of the security concerns that judges have?
Judges are being threatened every day. They are being threatened. And not by just ordinary people, by councils. Not all of them anyway, but they are being threatened by lawyers. They are afraid to go to court. Imagine being a judge, you have to prepare, and somebody appears before you, and then, they are being disrespectful, and unfortunately you're not even supposed to retaliate. You can't even answer back, because when you answer back, they're going to use that against you. And these people are scared. I know, because they are scared. Nobody has ever come to me, because I don't take that nonsense. I don't take that nonsense. Nobody's going to jump on top of my head. So these people, really, they are scared, because I've heard them talking about it. They've been threatened. They are keeping quiet. They can't even do anything. And these advocates and these lawyers, they are using that thing against the judges, because if you retaliate or if you answer back, they'll be like, you don't deserve to become a judge. Why are you taking things personally? So they are scared. They don't know what to do. It's a shame.
Now, as a judge and a citizen of this country, for those who are listening to this conversation and very concerned about what it means for the public's confidence in the judiciary, when cases like these jump up. I mean, granted that this particular one, we can see where it's heading, but there are genuine concerns as Mkhwanazi unveiled on that fateful day.
It's a shame. It's a shame that, and it's really sad that, when people are trying to believe in the system and the system fails them, they don't know where to go. But true. I have experience of the system, and I'm not surprised why nobody wants to help me. The crime intelligence, they don't want to help me. Nobody wants to help me. I once did a case of Mr. Kabila from the DRC. Remember that case for the DRC?
I remember that case.
They were accused of trying to overthrow the government. That was a lie. It was two members of the.
So you were that South African judge, yes. Because headlines were there.
Yes.
That the South
I represented Mr. Kabila, the brother to the president. Yes, yeah. I represented him. Those people were taken for 2 years, put in prison for 2 years. The prosecutor and the crime intelligence, they went there and told the whole country that these people were found with guns and they wanted to overthrow the government. Well, it was a lie. They wanted to have mines. I was there. I was the member. I was one of the councils. And I was accused, people were stopping me from talking about the guns. Where did you get the guns from? They brought the guns. They gave it to these people. And poor people, they were there. They were looking for work because that's how they were promised work. They were promised work on the very same day when they were taken and placed inside a game reserve where there were wild animals. They were threatened that you choose. Wild animals are going to eat you or we shoot you. And all of a sudden the media is there. And the country is told that these people wanted to overthrow the government while these people, members of the crime intelligence, wanted to overthrow the government. And I was crucified because these people even went after me. They went to my home and put cameras. I was being followed.
Do you believe that as Portia Dipuo Phahlane, you ruffle feathers, that this case is not just about, the corruption that is alleged, but there are forces that you have made uncomfortable?
I don't know. What I know about this case is that as clear as daylight, I think I'm being used as a scapegoat for them to be going to the leadership battle. And I say this being mindful of what their spokesperson said. Mr. Leonard Modise's spokesperson said, Mr. Abiel Modise. Yeah. He's the one who's the
because they said they pulled out because you have been sanitized and they realized that there's no way they can win the case.
It's a blatant lie. It's a blatant lie. And I will tell you this, Criselda. I hope and I wish Mr. Jeffrey Kobrosalala is listening to me. I challenge him. He must come and tell me to my face. I invite him, whether it's in front of the SABC or whatever. He must come and I will play him
or Radio Panache.
Yes, or Radio Panache. I will play him the recording where he made that confession that his client Leonard Modise does not have evidence to say that he's the leader of the church. So he mustn't come and lie. But now they want to bring that back door to say that we withdrew from the matter because we were threatened. It's a lie. Their own attorneys said that they don't have evidence. And it makes sense because even the other brother, how do you have two brothers? If really your father, who was the comforter of the church, left you with this thing to say that you are going to be the next leader, why is the other brother fighting? Why is it brother against brother? Why do we have two people from the same family and brothers nochal to say that I'm the leader? And against Mr. Sandlana.
Could it be that we need to have a conversation around wills? I think we need a bit of water because this conversation is just, this is Radio Panache, the epitome of excellence, and I'm Criselda with you until 12 midday, and I'm joined in studio by Judge Phahlane. We have issues to attend to, and in case you just joined us, no, you're not lost. Keep your dial right there. It's not a mistake. This is Radio Panache with me, Criselda, and talking to Judge Phahlane as we go through an explosive expose. It's a conversation that needed to be heard. We've seen being broadcasted an alleged bribe of a judge. And this was really painful to watch as a South African citizen, because you watch and ask yourself what has happened to the judiciary. It doesn't help that this was exposed after Mkhwanazi alleged that the judicial system has been penetrated, and we've seen some of the cases, we've seen some of the commissions disclosing scary stuff that comes out that happens right under our watch. And joining me in studio is just Portia Phahlane. I didn't know that she's also Dipuo. And you could hear the Sotho woman in her just being fired up as she was talking about, what unfolded as we saw her being arrested from her home. And as she did indicate that there are a lot of situations that really went unprocedural. And this is what South Africans, ordinary South Africans, go through. And that's why we're having this conversation, so that we can have a balanced view of what happened, that when you make your own judgment, it's based on facts. Now, let's talk about, being a very private person, I know that time has just run so fast, it's unbelievable that an hour is gone. Why did you agree to talk to us?
It's so sad, Criselda. My family has been targeted.
Sure.
And before I even get to my family, 2 days after we made bail, the members of the Hawks came to my house. They wanted to barge in. My nephew was there. He's part of the security. And they asked, what are you doing here? They said they were there to patrol. Now there's drones flying around at my house because my house number has been exposed. Now people know where I stay. There are people who are taking photos of my house and they are going up and down. But the members of the Hawks came to my house and they could not even say what they wanted, and they came 3 times already. We had a meeting with the security at our stage because I was complaining that why are you, sending these people, and the investigating officer talks to my attorney to say, when my attorney wanted to know, because I called my attorney, and they said, no, he hasn't even sent people. And the question is, why would there be people coming to my house as members of Hawks, coming to intimidate? Because what they are doing right now is just intimidation. But it doesn't end there. The reason why I even agreed to come here is that now they have gone to my family. They are harassing my family. They went to, the members of the Hawks, they went to my grandmother's place in Krugersdorp. I didn't only grow up in Garankuwa. I also have relatives. I used to go there a lot when I was still young and when I was growing up, even in now, including now. They went to my grandmother's house to harass my aunt. They went to my cousin's house in Krugersdorp to harass her. They went to my third cousin again in Manzeville, because my family is scattered around Krugersdorp. They went to my sister's house in Garankuwa. My sister-in-law, and they went to harass her. And the question is why? What have I done to these people? What do they want? And it doesn't end there. They went to the cousins of my children's cousin from their father's side, and they tell this girl, bring your cousin down here, because she phoned Kagiso. And they said to this person that, I'm told that when we have this conversation, don't tell your father, because they know that their father, my children's father, is an attorney. And they didn't want him to know about that. So don't tell your uncle, don't tell your father what is happening. Why do they want to have a conversation? And, she was just luring them. And I'm like, why do you want these kids to just keep quiet? And why do you want us to come and meet? And they said, no, because we have to go and talk about the same story. We don't have. And I'm like, what story are you talking about? Because there was never a story in the beginning. I was not even aware that she works at FNB. And that is the problem. So why are they harassing my family? Why are they still following me? I've been having, episodes too many times when I've been followed and people want to kill me on the streets. And I go and report still at the office. I would just tell the DJP, one of the incidents was witnessed by one of the judges who also stays in Hartebees. And she comes to court and says that when there was a meeting, she comes to court because there was an end of term meeting with the judges. And she comes to court and say that, I saw people chasing after you with the cars that we do not have the permits, no registration number. And the question is why? If you really have something against me, why do you want to kill me? And the only people who wanted to kill me is the people who wanted me to recuse myself. And sure. I say that without fear of contradiction. I know that for a fact. Should anything happen to me, then people should know where to go.
That would be so unfortunate because you're a mother, you're a servant, you're a human being.
I'm a child of God.
And you're a child of God.
I'm untouchable. Nobody's going to do anything. Because if they really wanted to kill me then, after 3 years, now it's 2026. They can do whatever they want. But last year, it was hectic. It was, you are chased by 3 BMWs, no registration numbers, 3 BMWs, a Subaru, a van, and there's a Caravella down there, there's a GTI down there. Why do you want to kill me? What have I done to you? Why are you threatening me? What are you afraid of? What is it that you don't want me to say? That is why I'm saying right now I'm challenging Mr. Jeffrey Kobrosolala, the attorney of Mr. Leonard Modise. Go and tell those people, your client, that you have confessed that Mr. Leonard Modise. So they mustn't just want to bring up this leadership battle.
And I suppose we also invite them to this show to give us their side of the story.
I'm going to play him a recording. He was recorded. I'm going to play him a recording when he was saying that. So they mustn't try to bring this and now their spokesperson is saying we withdrew because, we were threatened. It's a lie. They didn't have evidence. It's a lie. Tell your people the truth. These people are pastors. They must read the Bible. Start with the 10 Commandments.
I can tell that this is evoking a lot of emotions out of you. And we pray with you that, proper judgment or justice will be done.
I hope
on
so.
The show.
I hope so because I've seen.
And I suppose when there's all sides are being exposed, the truth shall come out. Someone once said that there's his version, her version, and the truth. And we're hoping that the truth eventually prevails. Thank you very much for coming through, and all the best to you. And we're hoping that sooner than later you go back and serve Africa.
I wouldn't want to go that direction. After you go through this and then you find your colleagues, nobody's saying anything, how do you want to go back to the same environment?
I found that very strange, actually.
Nobody has ever said anything to me.
Sure. Not even, I mean, we haven't seen it in media.
Even from day one, nobody has ever said anything to me.
Could it be maybe that they're shocked just like this? Maybe they're just shocked.
It was like, I think 3 or 4 judges who came to me, my colleagues. How are you feeling? Don't just hang in there. It's okay. It's okay. The person that I normally talk to like right now is the DJP. And guess what? Now he's been accused that why did you give her that case?
In the first place.
Why did you give her? And here's the problem that they don't know. He's the DJP. He has the authority
it's his responsibility. Yeah.
But now it doesn't end there because the case, every case that I have done is there on the system, on the emails. The case about, this case about the church, it disappeared from the system. No emails, no nothing. They have been deleted and there is no trace. So somebody has got power somewhere.
We'll talk again.
Yeah.
And hopefully when we talk again, we'll have a conclusion of this nightmare. But for now, I urge you to breathe.
And thank you very much.
I urge you to breathe and give yourself a hug. Give yourself love.
I will do.
Give yourself love, because, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah, I hope so.
Shoo. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like
thank you very much
to thank Radio Panache for this opportunity, and thank you to all of you for listening, and thanks to the team for ensuring that there is a balanced view out there as we talk about this case that alleges Judge Phahlane having taken a bribe, and just so much comes out of the story, and we'll watch it very closely. Let's go back again to Positive Hour, and we go back and just be serenaded in beautiful music. And Aubrey, as we're driving here, we're listening, and I'm like, you take me back to those days, man, when radio and just beautiful Sunday sounds were still a thing, and we take you back to that. And thank you. We most humbled to having served you just for 1 hour. Hopefully, you never know. Hopefully, we'll be back soon.